let us look at trauma and the nervous system. Today we understand trauma not as an external event, but how the individual registered in oneself. And this is important to note, it leaves an imprint, not only on the brain, but also on the body. I call it as a muscle memory. As if the trauma is lived in the body. So we would find this in persons through their dysregulation of the nervous system. So how that is seen? Mainly the survivors of trauma, they experience either to fight against that impulse or to run away, or they get frozen, or it goes to fawn, flop responses. So these are all adaptive strategies towards a trauma, towards a given danger. Now when we take this theory into marriage, these survival states can be triggered. Take for example, a sharp tone, shouting, "Hey, where are you?" This can unconsciously trigger a fight response. Who are you to shout at me? It can lead to an aggressive argument in a relationship. Or a couple is perceiving a withdrawal, that there is no attention now in relationship. It can trigger a fear of betrayal in the past, of abandonment, of neglect, and an anxious pursuit would come into play. Maybe for some other couple, there is a conflict, there is a decision to be made, they may completely go shut down or dissociate completely and not interested in the conversation or to make a decision. So, what we're trying to tell you is, without trauma literacy, there is greater danger that couples would interpret these reactions as an intentional thing. In Malayalam you say, and this would trigger hostility. And further, it adds on fuel to an existing problem or a conflict. So, now neuroscience underscores this dynamic, especially the research on the amygdala and the prefrontal cortex demonstrates how traumatic stress that would prime the hypervigilance, always attentive, always looking. Not only hypervigilance to protect you, but it impairs your capacity to decide, to make a meaningful action. So it impairs the executive functions in moments of a relational threat, not able to stand for oneself or to talk about what the internal struggle that one is going on. So understand the vagus nerves that governs our safety and mobilization, they shut down because there is a threat, and thus it would control the relational present. The couple is not present, numb, not there. So remember, trauma is not a character flaw, but it is a trauma response, an adaptive system, a survival mechanism activated, but now in this case against each other, against the relational presence.